I want you to think about the last time you felt a wave of anxiety or that heavy, sinking feeling in your chest when you realized you'd messed up again. What was your first instinct? For most of us, it's to look for a villain. We blame the boss who's a jerk, the partner who doesn't understand us, or the bad luck that seems to follow us around like a stray dog. Most people treat mental anguish like it's a form of cosmic punishment, an indictment of who we are. But that is a mechanical error in thinking. In the physical world, if your car's oil light comes on, you don't get angry at the car. You don't think the car is judging you. You recognize that the light is a piece of information. It's a signal that something under the hood needs your attention before the whole engine seizes up. Your mental pain is exactly the same. It is a flashing yellow light on the dashboard of your life. And once you start noticing the repetition, the pain makes more sense because it isn't random. It's a pattern. Pattern number 1, the stage isn't the source. The first thing we have to do to remove the blame and shame is to look at the source of the discomfort. It is absolutely critical to reframe this. Pain doesn't actually originate from your bank account, your introverted personality, your childhood traumas, or your in-laws. Think of your life as a theater production. The bank account, the boss, the traffic, those are the stage. They provide the setting and the props, but they are not the director. The pain you feel isn't coming from the stage. It's coming from the choices you make around those things. This is not a moral judgment. It's a matter of mechanics, pure cause and effect in your life system. Your well-being is determined by how you respond to what shows up, not by the events themselves. Let's look at a simple example. A traffic jam. The traffic jam didn't make you angry. A traffic jam is just a collection of steel and rubber at a standstill. Your choice to let a stranger's bumper dictate your heart rate and your mood for the next 3 hours is what created the anger. This is a fundamental truth. You are the one holding the remote to your internal state. When you realize that, the world loses its leverage over you. You move from being a victim of the stage to being the director of the performance. Number 2, the reaction trap. Most people live in a perpetual state of reaction, as if they are a pinball bouncing off of every external bumper. Something happens, a snarky comment from a coworker, and they react. A temptation appears, say a giant plate of cookies or an impulse buy, and they react. The problem is that reactions, especially fast ones, rarely lead to lasting peace. More often, they lead to a greater need for cleanup down the line. It's like trying to put out a small kitchen fire with a gasoline can because it was the closest liquid you could grab in the heat of the moment. You might feel like you're doing something, but you're just making the eventual explosion bigger. And here is the key distinction. You cannot fix internal, emotional, or psychological problems with external solutions. When discomfort shows up, that familiar feeling of being unsettled or drained, the world is ready and waiting to offer you a magic balm. Buy something now. Buy something new. Eat something immediately comforting. Post a rant online for validation. Jump into a new relationship. Stay endlessly busy. Numb it out with a screen. While these actions might successfully distract you for a fleeting moment, they do not resolve the underlying issue. The discomfort didn't come from your circumstances. It came from a series of tiny, seemingly insignificant choices that weren't serving your long-term well-being. You are essentially trying to fill a bucket that has holes in the bottom. Pain isn't random. It's a receipt. If you don't like the total on the bill, you have to stop buying the items. Number 3, emotional math. We often think our lives are ruined by one big dramatic event, but that's rarely how it happens in the real world. Bad choices don't typically devastate your life all at once in a Hollywood climax. Instead, they subtly accumulate, like emotional dust bunnies, chipping away at how you feel about yourself over time. A single instance of a poor choice, skipping a workout, sending a passive-aggressive email, staying up an hour too late, doesn't hurt much by itself. But what about dozens or even hundreds of them strung together? Let's look at the math of it. You say yes when you want to say no, you get resentment. You ignore red flags in a relationship, you get stress. You procrastinate on a difficult task, you get anxiety. You gossip about a friend, you get embarrassment or guilt. You keep secrets, you get tension. You stay in a situation you've outgrown, you get exhaustion. Eventually, the accumulation results in feeling chronically off, tired for no reason, and disconnected from your own life. This isn't a mystery. It is literally emotional math. One mistake is human and easily recovered from, but a streak develops into a pattern. These unconscious patterns create consistent, predictable outcomes, and those outcomes fundamentally shape how you perceive and value yourself. When you ignore your own limits for too long, when you mute the feedback loop, the pain shows up louder. It's not punishing you. It's trying to finally get your attention and force you to change course, like a blaring air horn aimed right at your most comfortable habits. Pattern number 4, marketing and the illusion of the crowd. So why is it so hard to listen to these signals? Because we are being manipulated by an entire industry. Marketing is essentially the world's legalized manipulation industry. Entire corporations exist for one reason: to make you want things you don't want, need things you don't need, and feel inferior so they can sell you the fix. Social media is engineered to keep you addicted. Every scroll is psychological bait. Trends are created to make you feel outdated if you don't participate. None of this has anything to do with your future peace or your mental health. What actually keeps people stuck isn't agreement. It's constant suggestion. When you're suggested by prompts telling you what to buy, how to feel, what to chase, and what to fix next, your own internal signals get overridden. Discomfort doesn't get examined, it gets redirected. There's always something else to click, consume, compare, or correct before you ever stop and ask what the feeling is pointing to. That's how feedback gets lost, not through force, but through distraction. When your attention is constantly pulled outward, you stop noticing the quieter information coming from within. And once that happens, you don't need to be controlled. You'll stay busy enough doing it yourself. Clarity only returns when attention does, and attention only returns when you decide to pause instead of react. Pattern number 5, the exit is simple, but not easy. If the pattern came from choices, then peace must come from choices as well. Not dramatic, life-changing declarations, but steady, simple decisions. I'm talking about things like pausing before you react to an insult, walking away from a draining conversation sooner, choosing people who actually treat you well, doing what you said you'd do even when you don't feel like it, saying no when something feels wrong in your gut, keeping your physical space clean. Every one of those choices returns something positive back to you. The moment you start choosing better, even a little, you feel better. Sometimes you'll walk away from a temptation and feel that spark of pride rise in your chest, and you'll hear that quiet, victorious, "You did good." That feeling is the return on a good decision. Everything changes the moment you stop asking the self-defeating question, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking the infinitely more empowering question, "What choice isn't working?" When you make this single adjustment, you move from feeling like a victim of your circumstances to becoming the active architect of your inner life. This practice is not about endless motivation or sudden shifts in mindset. It is simply about embracing the power of cause and effect and using it to systematically build a life that feels lighter and aligned. Pain isn't destiny. It's a powerful form of information. Feedback is incredibly useful, provided you listen to it early and take corrective action. In the description below, there is a companion PDF to help you better read and interpret this essential feedback before it escalates into needless suffering. Use it to start your own emotional math, because the numbers don't lie, and now you have the power to change the equation. I'm Kelly, and I'll see you in the next one.